Welcome, and today is Friday the 13th. Didn't realize that today I was driving to an event that I had with the fire department, and I realized it's Friday the 13th. I'm not a big superstitious person, but some people are. It is crappy weather outside if you ever do go out right now in San Antonio. But in today's podcast, we're going to talk about what we always talk on Fridays. We're going to talk our NFL picks. That's where we're going to go through our picks. My picks of the week, who I'm picking to win, who I'm picking to lose in the NFL. This is going to be, I believe, week 15 NFL picks, and we're going to talk a little bit. But I want to start with today's podcast. We're going to talk about a little bit of the recap of yesterday's game. Boring ass game of 12-6 between the Rams and the 49ers. Pretty much a snoozer. I think I fell asleep halfway through the game, and I don't regret missing any of the game because it was that big of a snoozer there. If you stayed up, congratulations. Those are going to be an hour and a half you're never going to get, or I guess 3 hours to the last 3 hours. You're not going to get those 3 hours ever back in your life. But before we talk about that and the recap and all the drama that ended up happening in that game, I like to talk a little bit and start off with the news of Bill Belichick. The former coach of the Patriots, the 8-time Super Bowl champion, 6 times with the New England Patriots, 2 times as defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. A brilliant mind when it comes to football. Some might consider him even the GOAT of all time, the GOAT as far as coaching. And then start with the news with him signing a 5-year deal with the North Carolina Tar Heels, the college team. He went to college football, which is very interesting. I don't know if he wanted to come back to the NFL really bad, or just felt like the opportunities were not there, and he just took the first opportunity of a good school. He does have some history there. I heard it's a great place to live. I personally have passed by there or stayed there a day or two in North Carolina, and it seems like it's a nice place, nice area. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. It's shocking news in a sense because I always thought that he was going to come back to the NFL. I always felt like he was going to be on one of these teams. They were going to fire their coach. Eventually, you see some of the coaching. You think about like the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a pretty pathetic team. If he came to the Cowboys and actually coached the talent there, the Cowboys would actually be somebody, and I think they would. You look at other teams, they had recently fired their coach and they're not doing any better. The Bears are a perfect example. The Bears would have been a great hire if they hired Bill Belichick with a brilliant mind, a brilliant defensive coordinator. He would have brought in pretty much his whole posse from his coordinators from New England and been able to do that. Do the Atlanta Falcons regret not hiring him? I don't know. They're not doing that great. How about the Browns? I mean, he did start his career there with the Browns. Can the Browns bring him back? Bring him there and be the coach there? I don't know. It seems like I know for sure for a fact he would never go to the Jets because I don't think he likes Woody John, the owner there. I don't think he likes him at all. The Giants are another one. I mean, he was a defensive coordinator there for the Giants. Why not go to the Giants and restart that franchise ever again? From what I hear and from whatever the rumors are about him is that he's very difficult to work with as far as he wanted to control the full team, which I don't blame him. I mean, if I'm coaching, as Bill Parcells once said, if I want to do the cooking, I want to pick the ingredients to cook with, and and that was during when he used to coach the Cowboys and Jerry Jones started. First, Jerry Jones actually agreed to sign the players he wanted to sign, Bill Parcells and all that. And then, of course, Jerry Jones couldn't help himself but start signing players that Bill Parcells did not agree with. And that's why Bill Parcells quit being the coach there. And I totally agree with Coach Bill Belichick. I get it. He's very hard to understand. He's very hard to get. But at the same time, he is a brilliant coach and he's a winning coach. Some people might say, it's because Tom Brady was there. But I mean, name another head coach that has won Super Bowls with a great quarterback. And I'm talking like multiple Super Bowls. I'm not talking your Brad Johnsons from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that won it there. They had great talent there all around. Brad Johnson, of course, was the bus driver of that team. As Baltimore Ravens come to mind again, Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer's not a great quarterback, but they only won it 1 year. That was in multiple years. Big Ben with the Steelers, he won twice. He is considered a Hall of Famer. He might, and I think he'll be eventually in the Hall of Fame. But my whole point is you have to have a great quarterback and you have a great head coach and you're going to win multiple Super Bowls. Just last Andy Reid. Andy Reid was considered borderline Hall of Fame coach, and nobody even put in the conversation of GOAT or getting close to being one of the great head coaches of all time. Now, with another win, another Super Bowl win this year with the Chiefs, people are going to be talking about how Andy Reid should be considered being the conversation of one of the greatest coaches of all time, with Chuck Noll, Bill Belichick, of course, Tom Landry of the Cowboys, stuff like that. But in reality, but if he never got Patrick Mahomes and was never ever to mold him and win, and then he would never be in that conversation. That's my whole point when it comes to Bill Parcells, between that conversation of so should he be, if it's Tom Brady versus who did it who? It's the same conversation with the Spurs. I mean, if Greg Popovich wasn't there, would Tim Duncan win championships? I believe so. But at the same time, I think Greg Popovich with another team, if he would have gone with another team, he also would have won championships. I mean, Greg Popovich knows how to coach. That's why he's won 5 championships. It's not, I hate the debate is between who did more than the other, but in reality, it takes 2 to tango and it takes 2 to win championships. Congratulations to Tom Brady winning with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, they really set him up really well. They made a line there and everything. But it's just really shocking and surprising. It goes too far as to see how powerful the owners are in the NFL. It all started with the rift between Bill Belichick and Kraft there, with the owner of the Patriots. Just like Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson back in the 90s. I guess Kraft wanted more credit for winning championships there, and I guess Bill Belichick didn't want to give him any of that credit, or there was just people saying it was all Bill Belichick. Kraft got a little jealous, got a little mad, and what really ended up ruining that relationship was there when Bill Belichick wrongfully said that Tom Brady was done and he couldn't quarterback anymore. And I think, and that's the mystery, and that's the interesting fact of ownership in the NFL. They will go ahead, and even though you're competing against each other pretty much, because Patriots versus Jets versus Falcons versus Cowboys, all of that, they look out for each other also. And I think that's what I'll be honest with you, I think that's what Kraft did. I think Kraft went out there and told every single owner out there, do not hire this guy. Pretty much blackball him. They blackball Bill Belichick, because you're going to tell me that Bill Belichick is not a better coach than probably 23 other coaches right now in the NFL. I think that's very, very laughable at that point. Is he the best coach right now? No. Is he top 5? No, either. I mean, I could probably say, as of right now, there's 5 better coaches than he is, but he is in the top 10 as best coaches in the NFL if he was coaching right now, for sure. And I have no doubt in my mind he'll be top 10. But yet, he never got the opportunity. So the only one thing I take off of that is that Kraft just started talking a lot of shit behind his back and a lot of crap about him to all the other owners. And the owners, I guess, because they respect Kraft, or because they just look out for each other, or because they have, I don't know, parties with each other and they don't want to get into it. I guess they didn't hire him. And that's why I find it's so weird that he never got hired. I would have thought he would have got hired for sure this year coming up. But just him not getting hired at all last year kind of puts it in perspective that maybe it wouldn't happen this year again. And I guess Bill Belichick decided just to go to college. I mean, he has a lot of control there. He will have a lot of control. It's going to be new territory for him. I guess his selling point will be that he can get everybody NFL ready. That's be the biggest selling point that he'd probably be selling, that, hey, you come to become a Tar Heel, I'll get you NFL ready, and people are going to look at you because I'm coaching you, because you're a Bill Belichick guy. You're ready to go, kind of thing. But that's weird. Congratulations to him signing that year, but it's just, I had to get that off my chest. It's just weird to me how powerful, not weird, it's just how powerful NFL owners really are. If they want to blackball you, they'll blackball you. Kaepernick's another example. I know people keep talking about him, and it's been years, but you got to be kidding me if Kaepernick was not better than probably half of the quarterbacks that were there. I'm not talking not right now. I'm talking about 2-3 years after he was out of the NFL. The owners blackballed him, plain and simple, and they don't want to admit it. But that's how powerful they are, how strong they are. But then again, we're talking about billionaires. Billionaires are really who control this country, and they control sports too. So that's when I get myself. I guess I wanted to start off with that monologue real quick. The other big game yesterday, there was just one NFL game. Like I said earlier, it was a snoozers, Ram versus 49ers. The biggest news, of course, was not the game itself, but actually that linebacker Campbell decided to refuse to play. I got many issues with that. I'm trying to think of ways to defend them, but there's no way to defend them. If you dress out for the team, if you really feel like you didn't want to play, like just plain simple, you just don't feel good. That could be sickness, it could be mental health, that could be injury, that could be anything. If you didn't really feel like playing, you should have told the team at the beginning of the game. At the beginning of the game, before the game started, you should have told them, "Hey, I know I'm healthy. I know it seems like I do not want to dress out." So that way they could have dressed somebody else out. Because as we know in the NFL, you only dress out 43 players. 43 players? Or yeah, I believe it's still 43 players out of the roster of 69 or whatever the hell the number is. So they would have probably dressed out another linebacker, maybe another defensive back or something else, or somebody else that really wanted to play. That's the issue I have with him walking out. That's the biggest issue. And in my opinion, if I was a head coach, but then again, if I was a head coach, I wouldn't last probably half a season. I would have cut him right there on the spot. Just release him. Don't even, something, you're going to the locker room, good. Go ahead, take a shower, and get the hell out of here because you are not on the team anymore. So I don't even want to see you, kind of thing. And in reality, some people are talking career suicide, which I could see that also, because if he wanted to, I could see that because he's still young. I could see that also where he just nobody wants to sign him because I wouldn't want to sign him because if he quits on this team, once you quit one time, you might do it again. And I don't want to deal with that. When I could sign somebody that's really hungry and they wants to play and they really want to be out there, then that's the case there. Then I'd rather sign them. That's really the biggest drama in that game. That was the linebacker that just did not want to dress out. We'll see what happens with him. I figured they cut him this week, so probably they'll sign somebody else, somebody that they really need because both the linebackers went out. Kind of ordeal. We are talking about, like I said earlier, Campbell's at this point in his career. He's been in the league not that long. We're talking about he's 31 years old. He probably has another 2-3 years left, which is kind of crazy to think about it because I'm 37 and this guy's 31. This guy's considered old, but that's the NFL for you. And that's it. No really big Spurs news per se, except that Johnson's going to be out tonight's game. It's going to be Spurs versus Portland Trailblazers. Spurs should definitely win that game. It is in Portland, so it's going to be a late night game if anybody wants to watch that game. I'll try to catch some of it. I do have work early in the morning tomorrow, but the Spurs have a really good chance of winning. Only news is there that Johnson's going to be out. It looks like Johnson is going to be out for the game. Zach Collins is going to be out for the game. And I forgot if somebody else is going to be out. Somebody important. I think Stephen Castle. There we go. That's the big one. The big one, Stephen Castle. And also Trey Jones, the backup point guard. The biggest one that I see for that one is Steph Castle. I like Castle. I really have liked him. I said it before. I think he'd be Rookie of the Year. He just has the moxie. He has the charisma. He has the game. He has the it when it comes to the Spurs. I saw it when he was playing in UConn. I'm glad that he was drafted. That's the number one player that I wanted the Spurs to draft because you really need a guy that has it. He has it. And when you draft somebody that early in the draft and he's very young, there's going to be some development issues. They're not going to be refined. They're not going to be, unless they're like a unicorn or an alien like Wembanyama. He went beyond expectations last year. There's going to be some shooting issues. There's going to be some getting adjustments to the speed of the game, and Stephen Castle seems to be adjusted pretty well, pretty fast. And the biggest upside of him is that he plays defense. You want somebody like that. Somebody that could play it two ways is better than one way. I mean, you can have one guy score a lot of points, but if he sucks on defense, they're going to target him every single time. You cannot target Stephen Castle. Right now, Stephen Castle's biggest highlight was blocking SGA of the Oklahoma City Thunder, who a lot of people consider him the MVP of the league, or him and Djokovic right now. But that was a big moment there for Stephen Castle, and that's kind of one of those I belong here, I am a player, I'm an all-star kind of thing. He has that it factor in him. So him and Wembanyama in the years to come is going to be great to see. I said it before, at the end of the season, well, to me, right now, Devin Vassell is the second best player, but I could see Stephen Castle in year 2 or 3 be the second best player on the Spurs. Unfortunately for him, fortunately for Spurs fans, Wembanyama is in another level. So that's why he's always going to be second best. But I think he understands that. So that's the great part about him, seeing that. So they should win this game. I think it's going to be interesting to see DeAndre Ayton. We forgot about him. He was a first-round pick a long time ago, about 5 years ago for the Phoenix Suns. I forgot he's with the Trailblazers. He'll be playing. He's a game-time decision. And also Donovan Clingan, the former teammate of Stephen Castle, where UConn and won a championship. He's also game-time decision. So that's a quick Spurs recap, or really not much because nothing has been really going on since because of this stupid in-season tournament thing that I hate in the NBA. But other than that, that's about it on that. We'll move on to the NFL picks. That's why we're here on Friday. That's what we talk about on Friday. First game up. There's not really too many games out there that I'm like, wow, I can't wait to watch that game. The only ones here, it's going to be the big one, I think. There's two big ones to me in this game, must watch. Bills versus Lions and Packers versus Seahawks. All the other games are going to be pretty much either... and those are the ones that are like playoffs implications and the competitive. There's going to be some competitive games, but they're really not going to mean anything. One of them is going to be Dallas Cowboys versus the Carolina Panthers. That's the first game we'll start off with. Panthers are favored by 3 points. Bryce Young has been playing great. He's been playing great the last 5 weeks. If I told you he has more passing yards, well, actually, more touchdowns, less interceptions, the better QBR rating than CJ Stroud, you think I'm crazy, but it's true. The last 5 games, Bryce Young has put it together. Again, as long as he stays healthy, he is a really good quarterback. Now, Cowboys just lost to the Bengals. They play really good on defense, but I believe that was the straw that broke the camel's back on the Cowboys season, and that's it. They're pretty much done for. I think at this point, they should not be playing at all to try to win the games. They should really just try to focus on the offseason and trying to get a high draft pick. Panthers seem like they found a good coach in Canales, their head coach there, and they seem like their quarterback now is going to be Bryce Young. Like they're going to stick with him, so they're not looking to draft their quarterback and then the upcoming draft. And I see the Panthers winning this game. I honestly do. I think the Cowboys are tired. They're done. That last game pretty much demoralized them there with the punt. That punt not only lost the game, but also lost the complete season. Or any hope, really. That was any hope of the season. So I'll take the Panthers on that one easily. The only thing that I can see the Cowboys might have is maybe they started Trey Lance on this one and he just went crazy and showed why he was drafted 3rd overall a few years back. But I don't see that coming, so we'll take that. Next one is Kansas City Chiefs at Browns. I'll take the Devil. I'll take Patrick Mahomes on that one. I see Kansas City Chiefs should win that one. Same thing with the Cowboys and Browns. Browns have about the same issue. They're pretty much done. They're not going to play any more competitive. They're looking at probably going to fire their head coach. They're probably looking at a quarterback now, unless they, I guess, double down, triple down. I don't know what you want to call it. Deshaun Watson, did they stick with him after he comes back? But I don't see that going. I see the Chiefs winning that one pretty. I see this one actually being one of those Chiefs games that's not close, that they actually win by a touchdown or more. Next game up, Miami Dolphins at Texans. This should be a competitive game. Texans are favored by 3 points, and I'll take the Texans by 3 points. I think they should win by a field goal. It's going to be an interesting to see CJ Stroud actually puts it together better and stops because he's been regressing this season. But you never know. The Dolphins, they played very, very, very embarrassing the last few games. The last 2 games, Tua wasn't that great. But, they lost against the Packers, and then they beat the Jets, I believe, last week. So I could see Tua Tagovailoa playing a little bit better. The Dolphins, CJ Stroud has just not been looking good. That's the only reason I don't think the Texans are a definite winner or win by more than 6 points. Mike McDaniel, the head coach of the Dolphins, is going to try everything to do to really, really come out and win this game. So we'll see. But I see it competitive, but I see the Texans taking it. Next game should be one of those games is Jets versus Jaguars. Jets are favored with 3 points. Jets should easily win this game. The Jaguars on a downfall. They are just on a downward spiral. They seem like they cannot get it together. They lost last week against the Titans. It's one of those. Did you just? Let's be honest. The Jaguars are just. Oh, actually, the Jaguars won. Sorry, I apologize. The Jaguars actually won last week, but 10-6 is not really winning, in my opinion. I think Jaguars should have lost that game. Jaguars are kind of same predicament kind of as the Browns. Are they going to stick with Trevor Lawrence and keep playing for next year? I know he's out for the season, and they got Mac Jones right now starting, but it's one of those things. The Jets, they're a little prideful. Aaron Rodgers is prideful. If we know something, Aaron Rodgers is full of himself a lot, so he's going to try to win this game. Probably throw for 300 yards and show that, oh, look at me. I throw from back-to-back 300-yard games. Kind of bullshit. So they should really squeak this one out just because Aaron Rodgers is just a nut. So we'll take the Jets on that one. Next game is Commanders versus Saints. Commanders should easily win this game. Commanders kind of have come down back to earth a little bit there, especially after they lost that crazy-ass game against the Cowboys. But I can see them coming back. Jane Daniels right now should really put it together and put a lot of points on New Orleans. But New Orleans also is going to put a lot of points on them because Commanders are 27 right now, ranked rushing defense. So Alvin Kamara, he did miss some practice, but that was Wednesday, and I think he gets healthy. It was due to illness. It wasn't due to anything physically. So he should be back, and I think he should make it. It's going to be a competitive game, but not to the point where you think that the Saints have any chance. I think the Commanders end up winning by a touchdown or more. Next game is Baltimore Ravens versus the New York Giants. Giants are probably the worst team right now in the NFL right now. They're just looking terrible. They have nobody. I do like watching Tommy DeVito because it's just hilarious to me. Watch him do. I hope he scores a touchdown. Does the hey Italian kind of thing. That's just hilarious to me. But the Ravens are kind of pissed off. They lost a few games already. They're not looking like the powerhouse anymore. I see Lamar Jackson and I see Derrick Henry just running the hell over the Giants right now, and it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a nasty blowout, and sorry, Giants, you're just in the way, and the Ravens are pissed. Next game up, and actually Baltimore's favored by 16 points, so that just tells you how bad of the Giants are. Next team is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals at Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans probably the second worst team in the NFL. Bengals look good on offense last week. I mean, Joe Burrow really put it together. Him and Jamar Chase just had an incredible game against the Cowboys on Monday. We all know who the quarterback is of the Tennessee Titans, Will Levis. Loves mayo but hates milk. And he hates winning in the NFL. So I could see this is definitely going to be one of those games where the Bengals look good on all three phases of the football. They're going to be looking good on defense. They're going to look good on offense. And I think they look good on special teams because Tennessee Titans are just terrible. Quarterback is terrible. So they should be able to get a pick or two off Will Levis. And Joe Burrow should be able to put up some points. They should be able to put up 30-something points on this Tennessee Titans defense. Even though Tennessee Titans, by all metrics, their defense is pretty good. But I just think it's just when you put that much pressure on a team for the defense to keep holding it down, eventually it breaks and the floodgates break and eventually the point starts getting scored. and Cincinnati will be 6-8 after this game. I still don't see them in the playoffs unless, like I said, the Broncos have a complete meltdown or Chargers have a complete meltdown. And I don't see that because they have both really good head coaches. They understand the game. Next one is New England Patriots but the Arizona Cardinals. New England plays competitively, but not today. They're playing against the Cardinals. I think Cardinals beat them pretty handily. If I was the Patriots and running the Patriots organization, I would shut down Drake May right now and prevent him from getting hurt. Just run simple plays for him, quick reads real quick so that way he doesn't get hurt, because that's the worst thing that can happen to him, because he does look like the part of the future quarterback there. He looks good. He definitely looks good. Kyle Murray, on the other hand, looked really good at the beginning of the season, but lately he's just been looking bad. But I guess he's playing more video games again and forgot to study the playbook. But I still take him on this win. I think they still win this game. And I think they're actually favored. Yeah, they're favored by 6 points. And Bengals, before that, were favored by 5. Indianapolis Colts versus Denver Broncos. Broncos have been favored by 4 points. Broncos should win this one pretty easily. That Broncos defense is just on another. They play very good. The defensive coordinator there, Vance Joseph, knows what he's doing. He's come out with a really good plan. They're coming off a bye week, and I think Anthony Richardson, the starting quarterback for the Colts, is just going to have a very difficult time with them. I see multiple picks in that game, and the Broncos should win that one pretty easily and handily. Next game is going to be the game of the week. Buffalo Bills at Detroit Lions. Lions are favored by 2.5 points. We have the MVP frontrunner in Josh Allen. Josh Allen, who scored 42 points last week. He had 6 TDs in that loss against, pretty much in that loss against the Rams. But right now, the Bills are scoring points. If you thought the Lions were scoring points, they kind of have cooled down a little bit. The Lions a little bit there. They didn't look as hot against the Packers as we thought we would have, and if I would have liked for them. And I could definitely see, but I could also see the Detroit Lions have they have about the same amount of weapons as the Rams did last week against the Bills, but I think they have a better offensive line. So this is going to be just a straight out shootout in this game. It's going to be Josh Allen. If he stays healthy and he keeps it going, I could see the Bills winning this game. Bills winning this game 33-30, 33-31, something like that. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a high scoring game. And I'll take the Bills right now. I trust Josh Allen more than I trust Jared Goff. And I kind of trust their defense just a little bit more than I trust the Detroit Lions defense. The Detroit Lions defense just have way too many injuries. They've been trying to keep it together, but the injuries are really just taking shape on them, and is really setting them back. So I'll take, and this is the game to watch. This is definitely one of those games. Even if you're not a fan of them, but you're a fan of football, you have to watch this game. This game should be a good one. See Jared Goff putting up points. I mean, he's going to put up points. I mean, the Rams put up points against the Bills last week, and they beat the Bills, but they had to score 44 points. And I could see Josh Allen putting 38 points on this defense also. So watch for that game. Watch for a high-scoring game. This could be one of those games like last week, Steelers versus, not last week, 2 weeks ago. Steelers versus Bengals. This is going to be one of those games. You might see 21 points in the first quarter scored by both teams. By the second quarter, yeah, you're going to see both teams 21-21. It's going to be a crazy game. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are favored by 3 points. I see the Chargers winning this game pretty handily. Even though J.K. Dobbins is out, but they're just so well coached, and Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than what's his face? Baker Mayfield. I just don't see Baker Mayfield. He's come down to earth a little bit. He hasn't been playing as well as he was in the first half. So I can see the Buccaneers definitely losing this game and the Chargers winning that one. The next game is not going to be another. A lot of people would think this is the second game that I thought it would be the game of the week, but I don't think so. I think the Steelers are not that good of a team. I get it. They're 10-3. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. It's I guess in-state rivalry right now. Steelers versus Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh. Eagles are favored by 5.5 points. I just don't see. The thing that's going to keep the Steelers in this game is definitely their defense. Their defense, like I said before, their championship defense. But I just do not see them having enough firepower to keep up with the Eagles. As much as we'll see what happens. If George Pickens plays, I guess that's a better chance for the Steelers to win. But I just don't see it. I see the Eagles really running the ball. I see they're doing a lot of screens. They're probably going to emphasize giving the ball to A.J. Brown on the passing game. Their passing game was really hurting the Eagles right now. But when you got Saquon Barkley, you got that offensive line, really, let's be real, we shouldn't be passing the ball too much anyways. The Eagles' defense also seems to be coming up a little bit more, and they were playing with more intensity. So I could definitely see them putting a lot of pressure on the Steelers' offense. And it's going to come down to the Eagles' offense versus the Steelers' defense. Eventually, that's going to bend. And I think the Eagles should win this game pretty handily, probably by 6 points or more. And it's in Philadelphia too, so that's going to be, as we know, Philadelphia fans are crazy. That's going to be one of those games you're just going to have to tune back and forth between Eagles, Steelers, and Buffalo Bills and Lions, because it's just, you might as well double split it and watch this game, because this is going to be a really good one. It's going to be a good one in a sense that if you want to watch offenses play, if you really want to watch a lot of offense, and there's really good players on here. I mean, you got Saquon Barkley, you got A.J. Brown, and the other guy, you got George Pickens, you got T.J. Watt, you got some really good talent there. I just don't believe in the Steelers. I cannot believe in them as long as Russell Wilson is the quarterback, or even if Justin Fields is the quarterback. I just don't believe in any of the quarterbacks. When you have to play two quarterbacks and bring in Justin Fields for running plays, if you got two quarterbacks, you got no quarterback. That's the way I see it. Steelers are going to make the playoffs, probably losing the first round though. That's the way I see it, and I see this is one of the games. Philadelphia is really hot right now, and Philadelphia should win this one easily, like I said, by 6 points or more. Next game up is Green Bay Packers versus Seattle Seahawks. Packers are favored by 2.5 points. Everybody pretty much seems to be taking the Packers. I'm going to take the Seahawks. Right now, Seahawks are playing very good. They seem to be finding their groove as far as the running game. I don't believe in the Packers' defense. They're middle of the road against the run. I think the Seahawks are going to play a lot better. They're going to run the ball a lot more. And Mike Macdonald is doing a great job. He's the rookie head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. Is doing a great job right now with them. And that defense seems to be playing a lot better lately. So a lot of people will point to the Seahawks' last two games, the last two teams they play in the top 10 scoring offense. They have a lot over 30 points, over 417 yards. But I think Mike Macdonald really gets it together, really puts a really good game plan. If you remember, Mike Macdonald was the defensive coordinator last year for the Ravens, and I don't know how he did it. He did it with a bunch of old players and a bunch of no-name players in the Ravens, and they were number one on defense in scoring and in yards. So, let's just say I think he puts up a really good game plan on this one. This is going to be a Sunday night game, so it's going to be great. And it's going to be in Seattle. You got the 12 man in the crowd there going, yelling and screaming. And I see Jordan Love throwing a pick or two in this game and just being and it's just going to be one of those games where the Packers are going to be throwing the ball a lot, and they're going to get away from running the ball like they should be running the ball with Josh Jacobs. I mean, he was the first 1,000-yard rusher in since I forgot, it's been 3-5 years since they had a 1,000-yard rusher like that, the Packers. So that's what I see with that. On the other hand, it's like the Seahawks offense is kind of crazy to think about, because you have at one point they're playing very well. Their quarterback, Geno Smith, was playing tremendous at the first half. Then in the middle of the games, he kind of went back to Geno Smith, the guy that got cut by the Jets. And then now he's playing great again. If you look at his stats in the last 2 minutes, he's been top 3 as far as passing, QBR, touchdowns. So he's making it happen. It's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to a field goal. And it's going to come down to who has the ball last. Is it going to be Jordan Love or is it going to be Geno Smith? I think he's going to be Geno Smith, and I think Geno Smith is going to bring them there, put them in field goal range, and win the game. I'll take the Seattle Seahawks. I'll take them in the upset. Nobody right now is picking Seattle, but I'm going to pick them, plain and simple. Next game up is going to be a snoozer. Bears versus Vikings. Everybody's picking the Vikings. I'm picking the Vikings. Whatever the hell is going on with Chicago, it seems like they're cursed. They're just not going anywhere. So that's going to be an pretty much easy game right there. It's going to be definitely the Vikings. The Vikings, Sam Darnold's playing at an MVP level. Sam Darnold is going to get paid a lot of money by the Giants next year. That's why I say he's going to go. He's going to end up, hopefully, as a Cowboys fan, hopefully regress and goes back to Sam Darnold playing like crap when he signs with the Giants. But definitely not right now. They're going to win. They're favored by 6.5 points. Take the Vikings on that one. The next one is, I just realized they have 2 Monday night games. It's going to be Falcons versus Raiders. I'll take Falcons on that one. They're favored by 4 points. Raiders are second worst team in the NFL. Maybe some people even consider them the worst team right now. They're just in a crazy debacle. They have talent. I mean, they have Max Crosby. They got Brock Bowers, a rookie tight end who's been playing great. But that's really all I can mention. Anybody else sucks. Aiden O'Connell, the quarterback, sucks on the Raiders. Shit. Ryder, whatever the hell, the backup quarterback there sucks. There was no... They have no quarterback. They definitely and desperately want a quarterback there. And I think and I see them drafting Sanders, Deion Sanders' kid, as quarterback there and hiring Sanders as the head coach. That is going to be one of those teams that is going to be pretty much... there's going to be a lot of rumors and a lot of connections and a lot of things make sense as far as the Raiders getting Sanders' kid as QB and Sanders as the head coach. The Atlanta Falcons, the only thing that I would like to see Kirk Cousins just look like crap because I want to see Michael Penix play. If Michael Penix play, this could be a blowout. If Michael Penix doesn't play and it's just Kirk Cousins, what is it? Kirk Cousins, 7 interceptions in the last 3 games and 0 touchdowns. We'll see that again. I don't know. Max Crosby is always going to play hard on defense with the Raiders. So they might be a little bit competitive. But I still see the Falcons winning and getting back to 500. So those are my picks for the week. We'll see how the week goes. Best of luck to Bill Belichick. Again, games of the week is definitely going to be Bills at Lions and definitely Packers at Seahawks. And like I said, I'll take the Seahawks again as the upset. That's going to be my upset of the week there. I was going to say Panthers, but come on. Cowboys are sucking, so I don't see that as an upset. Other than that, have a great weekend. Watch Navy versus Army. Go Navy. As a former Navy shipman, I guess. I was in the air department, so they call me Airman or Airedale. Go Navy. Watch that game. That game is great. It's great to see kids still playing in the academy. It's great to see them that also they're going to graduate and go defend this country. So much props to them and much respect to both academies. I'm still going to cheer Navy. If Army wins, I'm okay with it too. But it's like I said, West Point and the Naval Academy in Annapolis is just 2 great academies. And maybe, hopefully, I have a son, a 4-year-old. If he asked me to join the military, I would tell him to go one of those academies. They're well respected. And it's just one of those. It's a dream come true. If you ever graduate from one of those, I wish I went to one of those, but I didn't get the opportunity. But I still respect the enlisted people, sometimes even more than officers, just for the simple reason that enlisted work 10 times harder and get paid 10 times less kind of ordeal. But go Navy. That's the only really college game that's out there this week. So it should be fun to watch and enjoy the weekend, enjoy the football games. And I'll talk to you guys probably Tuesday. We'll have a whole recap of the whole week. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.